But now we turn our attention to the New Yorker article reportedly poised to publish, which claims CBS's CEO, Les Moonves, engaged in sexual misconduct. Eric Rose is a partner and crisis communications specialist at LA-based PR firm Englander, Nabby and Allen. So, Eric, first of all, this article has yet to come out, although there have been plenty of leaks all day. I'm a bit puzzled, and maybe you can provide at least a speculative answer, why it doesn't seem to have appeared yet.
Well, I think that they're fact-checking. Clearly, you're talking about a CEO of a major corporation, your corporation, and if they get it wrong, they have some serious legal ramifications facing them. But the reality is this. In the court of public opinion, by the mere fact that we're talking about this story, Les Moonves is guilty by accusation. And that's a very, very dangerous trend that I'm seeing now in both political world, in corporate world, in the celebrity world. Clearly, there's been a lot of people who have been affected and who have and are sexual abusers or have engaged in misconduct, but there are a number who have not. And the reality is that once you are accused of it, you're guilty, at least in the eyes of the public.
What do you think is going on with him and his inner circle right now, since we're in this kind of a strange situation where everyone's reporting on it, but the New Yorker hasn't actually hit send yet?
Well, I think what you probably are, what's probably happening behind closed doors is the things that I've done with clients. You're sitting down with their attorneys and with their crisis communications counselors and having a frank discussion with him and hoping that he will be completely candid, because that's how this has to work. And if there's any truth to the matter, they're trying to frame a statement that describes how apologetic he is and what he'll do. But if he's not, and these are allegations that are untrue, you can be sure that they're framing a vigorous fight in defense. And it also comes at a time when there's a bigger court battle at CBS, so you also have to wonder about the motives or who planted the story.
Eric,
these are all the sort of things that I'm thinking about.
Right. Let me read you in part, talking about a statement that CBS issued. It says, all allegations of personal misconduct are to be taken seriously. The independent directors of CBS have committed to investigating claims that violate the company's clear policies in that regard. The statement goes on to say, upon the conclusion of that investigation, which involves recently reported allegations that go back several decades, the board will promptly review the findings and take appropriate action. Is that the right kind of statement?
It is. It's exactly the sort of statement I would write if I were working for CBS and the board of directors. But mind you, allegations of sexual harassment carry severe consequences for the accused in any industry, whether they have done it or not. So I think the mere fact that there's allegations out here right now is going to pose some very, very serious long-term implications for CBS, even if there's no there.
There's another interesting layer to this in some of the articles that are going around. They are saying that in the TV circles, there have been rumors that there was an impending story about Moonves and from Faro for months and months, but then it had been so long that some people began to get skeptical because it had never materialized, yet now I guess we're full circle again.
Yes, and also since we're talking obviously about an individual here, not only is he the head of CBS, he has a very powerful wife, a wife who's well known, and you would also expect that she will be part of whatever statements come out if a story in fact does come out. And I've also seen these stories killed. If Les Moonves and his legal team and his PR counsel can show the publication that what they're about to do is reckless and full of misstatements and facts that just don't add up, I think that they may want to rethink the publication. So
yeah, but let me stop you and ask you about that though, because in the current climate that we all live in, and perhaps rightly so, I don't know, it depends, I suppose, on the individual case involved, is there such a thing as recovering from this, even if they were to prove to the satisfaction of, say, the New Yorker that perhaps the article isn't accurate and maybe the New Yorker hypothetically backs down? Now that these allegations are out there and they are being prominently talked about by just about every major news organization you can think of, how do you recover from that realistically?
Well, you recover from it very easily. First of all, it depends on what the allegations are, and then if they turn out to be true, does he own up to them or does he fight? And then also, what does he do? Does he pledge money for some research? Let's take it a different way. Let's look at the Starbucks example of how they handled their crisis. And they need if Les Moonves is in fact accused in any article, he needs a Starbucks moment. He needed to do something bold, quick, decisive, and also he would have to come out and, without any reservations, apologize and show that he's different. And why would he lead? I think that he is popular and influential and can pull it off. Now, the other thing that he could do, if he were his PR counsel, and there was something to the allegations, you can come out and break your own news. Why wait for an article to come out? Why not break your own bad news? And then you're able to decide what gets out, how it gets out, and have a little bit more control of the story. But I'm actually also concerned that there may not be something substantial. I don't know, but if that's the case, he's already damaged goods, because that guilt by accusation problem we have now, and we've seen surveys and we've seen research that shows that when people are accused of sexual harassment, the public believes those allegations, whether they are in fact true or not.
Okay, that's Eric Rose, partner crisis communications specialist, LA-based PR firm Englander, Knabe, and Allen.